Hello, this is RC Wisdom. My name is Diane. Thank you for coming by. I love that you guys keep commenting and giving me questions. So today I'm going to just quickly go through my comment section and answer any of those questions that I feel drawn to answer. Just got done with the client and had a lovely chat, and I am having my tea. So let's get going here. Okay, gosh, the backlash from Trump's rally in the Puerto Rican population in Pennsylvania, which is vast. I guess there's 480,000. I think many of them have already voted, and I don't know if it's going to matter that much ultimately. I think there'll be some shifts, but what I saw at the rally is a mixed bag. My last video talked about the difference between the men and the women, but we're going to be okay. Everyone, we're going to be okay. Harris will win. Many Democratic seats will shift. Republican seats will shift in Congress to Democrats. I feel like the Senate. I used to think it went all Democrat. Now I'm thinking it might. Picturing more Republicans, but I'll check into that. That'd be great. I've also been noticing there's one in Vancouver, ballot boxes burnt up, and there was like 300 ballots that had got destroyed in the one, and then maybe 3 in the other. So I wonder how they're going to handle that. Will there be more trouble with those ballot boxes? Yes. I think the person who did those destroying, they found him. No, not anything. My mistake. I'm thinking of somebody else. Okay, let's go to your question. Elon Musk, do you see a huge voter fraud ring in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania? There was a MAGA person saying they registered more Amish voters than there were Amish people. I saw that video, that short YouTube video where this person said they got all these Amish voters registered as Republicans, 180,000. And because the Republicans had come by, or the feds had come in and closed down some farm, friends of theirs that was working. And so let's see. I do feel like it's overstated. Whatever the Amish voters that they say have registered, it's a lie. There isn't that many registered as Republicans as they say they're getting. So that's all a facade. But as we know, or what I've heard and read, is that the Republicans like to be on the bandwagon. So the more it shows that they're going to win, the more Republicans will vote. I don't know what the mentality is about that, but that's where they are. So I do feel like there's some corrupt numbers. The numbers are wrong. And they're saying that they have that many voters or that many registered voters, and that's incorrect. I don't know if that is incorrect, but the huge voter fraud ring in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, I do feel like they're trying. I do see them. Do I see a truck? I see a truck. I see a truckload of ballots. They're planning. I do feel like, gosh, thank you for that question. I do feel like there's a truckload of something going. I don't want to make you guys nervous. Let's see. But I feel like, I'm going to have to sneeze. Page of Swords. Sorry. News. They're looking at that. Okay, so that tells me that the feds or the outside election commissioners that are keeping track of any fraudulent things are keeping an eye on that. So there are people planning. There is a truck full of, is it ballots already? I don't see how they got that. Maybe they're fake. There's something that they're going to move ballots out. They're ready, but I think it's going to get caught. So there you go. That question. Oh yeah, someone has asked me about radioactive channel. He said that Biden was leading ahead of Trump in the polls more than Harris is. So that person's nervous about that. the things are completely different now. Obviously, COVID happened, and so some people didn't vote and different things. But the polls have been adjusted. The algorithms have been adjusted. The Republican poll takers are skewing the calls that they're making. Like I heard Judge Conway the other day online, and he said they have 100,000 voters they call. They'll get like maybe 1,000 or 100 of those. Well, that's a big difference, but tiny percentage of people will answer the phone, and then actually even less will do the survey or the poll. And the polls a lot of times are skewed by different groups, and I think they're aggregated into different polls to modify or to mitigate the balance or the difference, and the Republicans want to make it higher. So I think don't worry about that. The polls are different then. The system's different then. We're at a different place now, and everything's going to be okay. Somebody asked me about me going to Canada every year. Yes, we do. Somebody asked about Cindy McCain. She endorses Harris and why she hasn't done it out publicly. I just think she wants to stay out of the limelight, but also she doesn't want to attract the ire or the anger. I think there are people that knew John McCain that are close friends and family of hers. And even though she endorses Harris, I don't think she wants to make it a big production or get out there in the front, because I think it would not hurt their feelings, but it would make them angry. And she's trying to walk the line, kind of ride the fence a little. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this person, Tony Z, I felt the same about Miller for a long time. In the past, I did the video of Stephen Miller, who he reminds me of Joseph Goebel. I don't know how to pronounce it in German, but he was the henchman for Hitler. And I feel like he might be the reincarnation of him. And Tony says, wondered why a god would allow the reincarnation of such evil so soon after all the Nazi insidious acts. Is that a loving God? Is there a God? Just saying. Well, God is the essence of pure love, and we all come from that entity, that essence of pure love. It's a matter of we're all fractions of light, and I've talked about this in previous videos, but if you didn't see them, the Big Bang, this is all quantum physics too. We all spread out into the universe, the big explosion. And little by little, we want to get back to that original pure being. That is the most positive, purest love there is. You could call it God, you could call it spirit, you can call it universal love, whatever it is. And that's where we want to go back to, that heavenly feeling, that God light. So we're all fractions. We're all been dispersed out into the universes on other planets and here on Earth, and these little fractions of light. And because we're animals, we act different. We live differently than elsewhere. But our little fractions in our soul and these experiences are all tuned subconsciously or spiritually to that being that we want to return to. And we're all connected because we all see each other as fractions of light, even though we're subconsciously maybe not aware of it so much, but we all are. So we all pure essence of God within each of us. And we all carry that. So why would a person be that evil on this earth and return to do more evil? That is a soul contract that they have with their spiritual family, other fractions of light. The spiritual beings are more elevated, more higher beings that in the heavenly realms that help a person, this light energy, this soul that we have, understand what they're supposed to be learning on earth. I don't know if that's too complicated. Probably didn't clarify that too much. But so he made a soul contract then to do those bad things. And he had choices. He grew up, he chose that family, he chose that career. His soul was learning from previous lives that he had to experience and make choices in that life which were generally evil. And he decided, Jews were bad, and he just was part of Hitler's regime. Now, why would he do it again? You would think that he would evolve and say, okay, well, this life, karma kind of stuff, you want to come back and do good instead of bad. I don't necessarily know if he learned the lessons in that life that he needed to. So sometimes what I call is a do-over, because people choose not to make changes. Free will keeps them kind of repeating karmic patterns. They look different to different people, in different lives. They look the same, but it's a karmic pattern. So he did this thing where this whole group of humans, his ego got involved. He's like, they're bad. So this time, it's still very similar. Or this is another option. Stephen Miller is channeling. You can channel, you can get attachment spiritually, or really are attracted to that kind of energy out there. I think it's possible that Stephen Miller was doing the same thing, but just in a different type of pattern in this life, going against any sort of migrant or any sort of outside brown-skinned person. And he chose them instead. So what he didn't learn then, he's still learning now, and he still hasn't figured it out. Usually when that happens, the pressure's greater for that person to make that shift and to learn. I'm going to submit here that I think that will continue, even though I know he has money and he has a belief that this is the right thing to do. It doesn't seem like he's going to have any repercussions from his kind of racist remarks and racist lies. And there's something about it that he's learning that we don't know about. And it's out on the public, so we seem to understand it a certain way. But I think for him and his soul, he's learning something. And it may be something that has to do with being confronted by some good, kind, brown-skinned people. And it may be happening even though it doesn't seem to be right now. There's a lot of stuff like that. Now, God, why would God allow evil things happening in the world? And that's common, people, why would it allow murderers and, terrorists and evil, people that kill each other and hurt each other? Well, we're animals. We have an ego because of our soul is in this animal body. It's a spiritual being, but we're in an animal body. And so we have estrogen, testosterone, masculine, feminine desires and different things, power, greed. There's a lot of things that happen in this animal brain of ours. So the way I interpret it, I could be wrong, is that it's the free will. We embrace the spiritual part of us, the light-filled part of us, or the ego, egoic, visceral, negative, kill or be killed kind of vibe. And as we've grown as humans through the millennia, we've evolved to be a higher level. So we're not living in that, Viking times or, annihilating whole villages and murdering and raping everybody. So we are evolving. But God is an entity where we're all directed, feeling drawn to go and to have us, because God is within us, but it gets muted, it gets perverted by this ego, physical desires, and that's all that is. So, you want to live in that light-filled place, so you're attracting light, you're attracting goodness, and those things around you will keep, hopefully, you avoiding bad stuff, but doesn't guarantee anything. But it's all a matter of staying in a more spiritual place instead of the dark ego-ness. And you can still be confident and have a good ego, but it's like a level. It's like a range. And some people just lived on the earthly plane and they want to do bad things because it makes them feel good, like it's just instinctual, and that's part of it. And God isn't. It's more like the pure love energy. That's how I look at it. So it's what we do with it, if that makes any sense. And those are our choices. All right, that was a long, rambling answer. Let me see what else. Jack Smith. I think they're not going to do anything until after the election. I know they're not, because I know Judge Mershon is not going to sentence him until November 30th, I believe, which he'll definitely get a sentence. And he probably will get, I always saw a fine, but I think he'll get some sort of mild, some people have said he'll go to jail. I mean, he could get up to 4 years, I think. I don't see he'll go to jail because of his age, and he's technically a first-time offender. So I think he'll have probation or like checking in periodically. Not quite house arrest, but I do think that's what's going to happen. But it will limit him. He will be limited, and he will not like it. There will be some restriction. Now, the document case in Florida, I think they will kick Aileen Cannon off that case eventually because she's too partisan. And I don't think that's going to happen until next year, after January, after the inauguration. And I think Harris will have, I think she's going to move Merrick Garland out of his position, not right away, but eventually. I think she's going to put somebody else in there. And that person will be stronger and more aggressive. But Jack Smith, when it comes to the insurrection, January 6th case, that's happening. That's going to be in November, December. There's going to be some pushing forward, and that is Tanya Chutkin, Justice Tanya Chutkin. I know there's been some issues with her, but she wants to move forward. So I feel like November, December with that. So there you go. And Jack Smith is like a bulldog. He is not stopping till he gets his man. Okay. Let's see. Somebody's asked, AAP 3254 is saying they cut the cord to the cable. And of course, absolutely. It's way too fear-based. Somebody said, I should listen to this Chiron on YouTube. One of my viewers, Jane, I think her name was. And I did. And it's very interesting. Kind of out there a little bit, like how we are. But he was very positive about our future. And we already have gotten past the point of really losing control of I think humanity is actually hurdled over the worst part, is what he said. But also looking at turning off the TV, because he said most of news is entertainment. It's not journalism. Find journalism, newspapers that you can rely on, and that's it. And he said it's entertainment, and that makes sense because they need to sell advertising. So they need to promote drama and fear. What do they do on TV shows? There's always going to be a dramatic climax. And they want you to tune back in. They do that on the news, honestly, or opinion pieces. Michael Moore, somebody had mentioned travel to and fro. I believe Michael Moore has said the polls are wrong, and he's usually right. And I do feel like he understands the upper Midwest, Michigan, really well. And last time he did see Trump winning, and now he's saying Harris is going to win. So good. That's awesome. Older people going to feel, Social Security, Medicare. Yes, older people are paying attention. Well, Trump's not going to be president, but Sally Bowen asked, if you think a crazy reason Vance got to be president, if they took Trump, if you got in to be the president, would Vance pardon him? Oh, absolutely. Well, they would decide, Congress would do a 25th Amendment and get Trump out of office because he's unstable, or he has mental illness or whatever it is. So Vance would take the oath of office, and he would pardon him right away. I also feel like that's kind of their goal right now, is they want Vance in there. They said Trump, that because he's the name and everybody loves him, but once he's in there, Vance is going to be the guy. But he's not going to get in there. And somebody just posted that I had said in my last video that one person quit from the Washington Post, but 4. So Jeff Bezos really, to get that far ahead, he's got to have a lot of cojones, you know what I'm saying? So he only does what he thinks is right for him. It's too bad. Corporate America is getting involved in everything. And when Supreme Court, or when they said it was okay to group citizens, I think it's called Citizens United, where they said, okay, it's not a limit to $5,000 per person for donating to a campaign anymore. Now you can all put your money together. And that became PACs. And that's all that dark money. We really, really, really have to change that. And that's, Sheldon Whitehouse's goal is to get rid of all that dark money and how it's changing. Page of Wands, somebody is yelling. Page of Wands, I see him, Sheldon Whitehouse, yelling on the treetops. Although he's got white hair, this is my crow crowing. And then the King of Pentacles, and talking about all the money that's being made. Yeah, Supreme Court is pretty much lawless, even though they're supposed to be law. They're not even conservative. They just do things that they're getting paid to do, honestly. Oh, Terry Gard just died, and I just got notified. Oh, lovely person. I loved her in Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton. Funniest movie. So funny. He is so funny in that. I love that. She was 79. She had MS, I think. Yeah, she had some neurological disorder. Queen of Wands. Knight of Cups. Yeah, she was a little bit of light. Yeah. Okay. So, any news? What's going to be happening this week? This is our last week. Everybody stay calm, deep breaths. We're all going to get through this. And today is actually 1 week. In the future, we're going to, well, I think we won't know for sure till the 7th. That's my estimate, my guesstimate. 4 of Pentacles. I feel like when I'm looking at this, it's slow and dark. Not dark. Just night. Slow counting, slow. Keeping track. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Ballots. Let's see if there's going to be any issues of ballot stealing, just in general. Definitely some destruction, like the fires. I don't understand why. I don't know what they think that's going to serve, what purpose. Because it's not like we don't know they're destroying them. I think whatever everybody thinks, I want you to wrap light around this whole election. Wrap light. Illuminate all of the deception. Illuminate any of the fraud. Illuminate all of it. Once you put light on something, darkness cannot hide, right? So light everywhere. So imagine light filling all of this election officials' offices, light filling dark alleys around election offices, even light into people's minds and hearts that they can see the truth and not decide that whatever anybody says in the dark recesses of the internet, we'll put light there, is real. Put light around the American people, put light around our country, lift it up, bring us together so we can see each other as humans and good. And I really don't think obviously it's not everybody, but it's just been promoted, divisiveness by the orange peanut head. But I was going to say something else with a P. That's what he kind of uses a lot. Okay, things are going to be okay. There's going to be some sadness. There's going to be some oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. There'll be some grief because we'll be scared. But things will move quack. They'll move quack. And then we will recover. We will rest and recover. And there'll be a new start. A new start. Yes, it's good. But none of these are major arcana. So this is all manipulated by us. This is not the universe saying, oh, the big shift is here. I mean, it is, but we're all going to celebrate. 3 of Cups. See the ring of the laurel wreath of victory? Celebration. We'll all be enjoying ourselves. Okay, that's it. Kind of rambly today. Take care. We're going to get through this. Till next time.